All right, what a great introduction. I didn't want to interrupt it because the music in this game is just beautiful. Of course, we're talking about Victory and Glory Napoleon. So I really wanted this game when it first came out, and for some reason forgot all about it. And now I've just picked it up on the Steam. So if you want to find out more information about this game, obviously you can go in the credits here and look. The game concept and design is by Glenn Dover and a bunch of other people that were involved in the game. And of course, if you're interested in this game, you can check out matrixgames.com and find out all the information about it. So the thing that really interests me about this game is obviously number one, it's a war game, and number two, it is a kind of a board game design. So you have a war game that plays as a board game on the computer. Two great things. And not only that, but it's a really good design. So what I thought I'd do is bring you guys a few episodes, show you some basic gameplay, some tutorials, show you what Victory and Glory is like, and then see if you guys are interested, and maybe we'll do a full Let's Play or continue the gameplay or whatever we decide to do. So if you're interested, leave your thoughts, comments, suggestions in the comments section below. Thank you so much for joining me, by the way. So we're actually going to adjust one thing here. So if we go into control and preferences, you can see the options there. One thing I am going to do is make the sound volume a little bit less so it's a little bit easier for you guys to hear me when I'm talking. I do have the music turned down pretty low, but I'm hoping that it'll actually play in the background loud enough that you can hear it, but not too disturbing. So hopefully that'll be okay. And of course, we're going to use 1920 by 1080 and a bunch of other options. Yada. Okay. So return to the main menu. So as I mentioned, this is a board game design that you can play. And it basically, obviously, is, well, first of all, let's look at the different campaigns. So you can play the historical campaign starting in 1805, the dash for the Danube. I probably butchered that, apologize. Alternate campaigns, you have the Second Coalition in 1800, 1806, What's Next, 1809, the Austrian Phoenix and the Spanish Quagmire, 1812 into Russia, 1813, Defending the Empire. And there is tutorials as well, but hopefully you guys won't use these because you're going to listen to what I have to say and watch as I play the game, and you'll pretty much won't have to play through the tutorials. So go back to the main menu here, start a new game, and we're just going to use the main campaign, and there it is in 1805. It's our shining moment. Turning from your planned invasion of England, you prepare to march the grand armies across France and into Germany into the lightning strike to defeat the Austrian and Russian armies and then capture Vienna. You're currently at war with Great Britain, Austria, and Russia. You must defeat their armies and capture their capitals to force each nation to the peace table. Once they're defeated, no one will be in position to stand in your way as you dominate the major nations of Germany and ally and increase your power and control over Europe. So of course we're going to start it. We're going to play on the easiest level. We get a slight advantage over the opponent. It's easier just to show you that. We start with a few extra units and they start with a few less units. I believe we get a few extra political points, but that's pretty much the only difference in difficulty. And let's start her up. All right, so here it is. This first episode is probably going to be a lot of talking and just talking about how the game plays. So the basic premise behind the game, if I'm just scrolling around the map here, I can use my arrow keys on the keyboard to do that. And you can also use the mouse to scroll to the edges. So the basic premise behind it is there's a whole bunch of different territories or provinces, and we are trying to gather those provinces up And Great Britain knows that we are doing this and they don't want us to become more powerful, so they are going to try and convince all of these other countries that we're the bad guys. They should join with Great Britain and fight us because Great Britain can't do it by themselves. So that's the basic premise. We are at war with Austria, which is here, Great Britain over here, and way over to the right-hand side, if I can scroll over there, is Russia. So there they are, way over there in the green. There's a bunch of neutral territories here, and there is the provinces of Prussia, which is not at war with me right now. So how does Great Britain convince everyone to join their war? Well, we click on this little diplomacy menu here, and they're going to get influence points, and we're going to get influence points. And what they're going to try to do is convince Prussia, Austria, Russia, whoever, to go to war with us by lowering our diplomatic relationships with them. You can see right now our diplomatic rating with Austria is a 1. We're at war. Prussia is a 5. If Prussia goes down into like 0 or 1 or 2, they have a chance of joining the war against us. So we're going to use our political points to make sure that doesn't happen. And of course, Great Britain is going to use their political points to try and do that. Once we are at war with the country, the only way to get them out of the war is to invade and take over their capital. You can see here, Vienna is the capital of Austria. I keep saying Austria-Hungary because I'm playing Commander the Great War, so I apologize for that. It, of course, is just Austria, not Austria-Hungary. Excuse me. So we have to take over Vienna, knock them out of the war. All right, so during our turn, we can do one of several things. We have so many activations. We have 4 activations. So we can take 4 of our units and move them around the map and do all kinds of great things with them. Over here in the Piscardi, I'm not sure how to say that, is Napoleon. If we click on him, right there he is. And there's all of his units as well. So we want to bring him over here and try and take over Vienna and defeat some of their enemies, or their armies here. You can see that right here in Venice is a stack that has a pretty powerful army right now. And if we click on him, you can see he's got 18 units. We only have 9 in this army here, so pretty bad for us. So what we're going to do is actually move him back so we don't get attacked. Then we're going to take this little army here, and we're going to combine that with this guy, and now he's got a stack of 11, which is a little bit better. We also have an army down here. We could move it, it's in Naples, we can move it up to the Papal States, but this guy from Vienna could come down and crush us, so we're not really interested in doing that right now. So that was one of our activations. We have 3 more remaining. So in each of the armies, or some of the armies, you can see there's units, and some of them will actually have leaders, which will have a name on them. Sometimes there'll be a generic leader as well. And each of the leaders have a quality rating. So you can see this guy has a quality rating of 5. When we compare that to Napoleon, obviously, oops, cancel. Didn't want to show you that yet. Napoleon has a quality rating of 12. He has several other leaders with him. This is Stout, Lannes, Ney, and Murat are all with Napoleon. Well, some of our armies don't actually have leaders. You can see this army over here does not have a leader. So we cannot move this unit because it does not have an army. Or I'm sorry, it does not have a leader. So this poor army is going to get attacked and probably crushed here in a minute. This army up here, if we look at this guy, he doesn't have a leader as well. This army does have a leader. This one does not. This one does not as well. So we're going to be using our armies to move around and capture territories. There's also ships. Now, We are at a severe deficit when it comes to ship combat. Great Britain has better ships, they have better quality ships, and they have better special abilities they can use in combat, which we'll show you when we get into combat with ships. I can see right here in the English Channel, they have 6 of them. We have 4 in our port here. We have 2 in our port here. Just ignore that 19 because that's actually Napoleon. Sometimes the leaders' flags can get a little bit in the way, but we actually, I think, have 1 or 2. We have 2 in that region. You can see we have a quality of 3. Any number on the counter basically shows you the quality, not the number. There's not like 3 ships in here. There's like the ship is rated 3. If we look at the French fleets, look at the French fleets, they have a quality of 4, so they're better units than us. So with that said, it's harder to go against them, so we need to outnumber them almost 2 to 1 to have any decent chance of doing anything. And you can see they have 6 ships there, they have 2 ships there, they have 3 ships out here, we have 4. So we could bring our 4 out and fight their 3, but still not probably good enough. If we come down here, they have 8 ships out here in the bay and 7 ships over here. So, or I'm sorry, these are our 8. This is their 7 ships. So we could use our ships to attack the 7, but again, not good enough for me. We'll probably end up losing a lot more than we gain out of that. If we could get our 8 ships up here to fight these 3, then yes, it would be worth it. So we do better in land than we do at sea. So just keep that in mind. Now, to kind of throw another monkey wrench into everything, there are event cards, as you can see right here. So these are all the event cards that we have, and I think it's random every time we start with a certain number of cards, but they are random. And each one of them will give us different things that we can do. For example, we can create the Kingdom of Bavaria. So French troops must occupy Bavaria and Tyrol, and Austria must be at peace with us. And we'll gain 4 units, and we'll switch those 2 territories over to our control. So we have to have a unit here and a unit here. We could play that card if Austria was friendly with us. And the only way to make them friendly with us is to go into their capital and defeat them. So we're going to do that. But before we do that, I'm actually going to be taking a couple of our leaders. Lannis, you over there, and we're going to take Ney as well. So now we've basically separated those guys. So these, let's move Napoleon army. All right. So what we want to do is kind of bring one up here to gather up some forces that don't have leaders. I believe that's one of them there. There's one there. There is a leader up here. So he'll go up and grab this guy, and then we'll send a leader up there. We also have militia. All these guys with the rifle and a 0 are militia, so they have to stay in Paris. There's not much we can do about that, but what I want to do is actually move one of our leaders here into Paris. I don't think we could do that this turn because we separated them out of the army, which they can't do anything. It doesn't cost anything to move units together if they're in the same region. So, for example, we would like to take... So there's Lannis. There's... it's not what I meant to do. Okay. We want both of our generals separated. There we go. All right, so we can take Napoleon and just squeeze him over a little bit so we can get to this guy. Now we're right-click. Just right-click on the little circle. See how I've got them highlighted. Right-click on it, it brings up this, and we can split our forces out. And what we're going to do is we're going to add in another artillery unit to Napoleon's army. So each army can hold up to 20 units. You can get a special event card that will allow you to have one leader for your country to hold up to 25 units. So obviously we do not have that unit or that card yet, so we won't be able to play it. So you can see moving all these units and manipulating things inside the isn't costing us any activations. Let's look at our event cards and see what we have. So we have a battle card. We'll look at that when we get into battle. We have minor nation joins the empire. We can create the Kingdom of Valeria. We can force march, which means an army may move 2 spaces. We can create the Kingdom of Northern Italy. So we need to have a few territories. We'll gain some Italian units. We can make some of our artillery horse artilleries. We can recruit a minor nation troops in Germany. And, oh, we got another horse artillery, which is nice. France declares war. We can declare war on somebody. And if we don't move anybody, we can get 4 victory points for the turn. So how do we win the game? We win the game by having more victory points at the end of the game. So you can see right now we have 35 victory points. Great Britain has 60. So our job is to take over some of these territories, convert them into our territories. We'll get more victory points for that, and basically keep Great Britain over there. Let us dominate and destroy and take over everybody else. That would be wonderful. Please do that. All right, so we can force march, actually. We can force march Napoleon. I think we will do that. We will force march him. And we're going to select the army. So he can move into there, and then he will move again. And we can move him into Switzerland, but there's these huge mountain ranges, so you can't go between there and there. Or from Switzerland into Bavaria. So we're going to have to bring him around. So we'll bring him into that space right there. Again, this army cannot move because it does not have a leader, so it's kind of stuck in that region. This guy here is going to go into here. And we're going to combine, that's a 10 general, which is very good. It's almost as good as Napoleon. So we're going to make him into a really good army as well. So you can see the ship number now is 2. All we have now is 0 because leaders do not count as units. So you can have unlimited number of leaders in your army, and they don't count against you. So we have 20 units, and we have a couple leaders here. This guy here is 8 units and 2 leaders. So we're trying to get up, maybe try to save this guy. I don't think it's going to work. We have 1 activation left. This army cannot move. This army cannot move. This army can because it does have a leader. So we will go up there and gather our forces together because eventually Prussia is going to be up to no good. And so we have no more activations. We can, though, play event cards and horse artillery. So we can change 2 of our light artillery units into horse artillery. Horse artillery units fire twice when they attack. So that's obviously very, very good. We're going to choose Hitler's army, and we're going to make this and this. And so now you can see they both have like a little dot in the corner. That means they're horse artillery. Very good. We actually have another card. Question is, does he have enough artillery? He only has 1 artillery. I don't want to waste it because you can actually, I believe, change 2 light artillery units into horse artillery. So we have to have enough light artillery, which we don't have at this time. We could bring this guy over. I think he's going to come down here and help this guy that's down here in the coast. Whoop. Oh, we are out of activations. We cannot do that. That's right. We spent all of our activations. Turn is over. We can play event cards, though. I don't think we want to do anything at this point. So, very well. The turn is over, and now all the other countries get to go. So, we'll get to see what they do. So, again, just a broad overview for diplomacy. So Great Britain's going to use political power to lower the ratings and try to get people to join us. They'll have special cards that'll try to get them to join us, join with Great Britain against us. We're going to use our political points to try to keep them very high or take them over militarily with our superior armies. There are major powers, which are Austria, Prussia, Russia, Spain. There are regions, which are Germany, Italy. So we're going to try and convert these areas over to ours. And then there are several other major powers, the Ottoman Empire and Great Britain. Great Britain obviously is permanently at war. We can't do anything about that. And that's pretty much it. You're going to be using your activations to move units around. They will normally only be able to move one adjacent space. If you move into an enemy space, you will have a fight. And we're going to see some ship combat and talk about land combat and ship combat when they come up here, probably pretty shortly. This guy will come in and attack us, and more than likely he will move some of his ships down here, create a big fleet, and come over here and attack us there. So we'll get to see both. And we'll just hit the end turn button. It'll show us we have no activations remaining, and we'll say that is fine. So we can choose one of two cards. A minor nation joins us. Choose a minor nation which currently has French troops, and they will join us. Or a new general emerges. The French leader becomes usable from the pool of unused leaders. If all French leaders have already been used, a no-name leader will appear. A leader must be placed with an army that includes at least one French unit anywhere on the map. I have not seen this card, so I'm going to select this card because I think that is very good. It's something we can use. So here comes the British. They're creating a massive fleet here, or some of them anyways, and they're going to move down there. And now they've moved into our area. Enemy sights sighted. Hostile fleet has moved into the Barnaby coast. The enemy fleet contains 9 squadrons. You must prepare your defensive force to respond. So we can attempt to retreat, or we can attempt to defend with this fleet. We are going to try to attempt to retreat, although I think you have a chance of losing some of your ships. I think if we try to defend with our ships, we will lose anyways. So let's see if we can get away. Nope. We could not get away. The enemy captured us, which is good because you guys wanted to see combat anyways. So here is ship combat. So basically there's a front line here and a front line for us as well. And then your reserves over here. We will move our ships into over here. And you will notice one of the reasons why the British fleets are so strong. They can position 7 ships on their front line. The French can only position 6 ships. They have stronger quality of ships as well. So basically now we just fight around. When everybody gets to go, then the round is over. You have to fight 2 rounds before you can try to retreat. And that's pretty much it. You do not have to shoot like, adjacent. So this ship does not have to shoot at this one. It's just an abstract. This ship could shoot at anybody there. Alright, so we will fight the next round. Alright, so what happens is every turn, or every activation, I guess is the best way to put it, the computer randomly determines who gets the initiative. In this case, Britain gets the initiative. They got to shoot. Then it determines the next ship. And so literally, like, Britain could get all their ships to shoot first, just randomly determined by the computer, or we might get lucky and have some of our ships. We might shoot all of our ships. So that's why the battles are so interesting, because you can never count on, okay, well, we've got superior numbers here, we can do this. But if the enemy gets to shoot all first, and he can sink some of your ships, that turns the tide of the battle. So he is attacked with his ship. You can see it's grayed out. And now we get to select a ship to fire because the computer rolled on our side. So I don't know if it's like a 50-50 thing, if it just rolls like a 6-sider and we're 1, 2, 3 and they're 4, 5, 6, or if there's some other mechanic in there. I don't know about that. If somebody does, leave a comment in the section below. So we're going to take one of our good quality ships, one that's not damaged, and we're going to try to hit one of these guys. This guy right there. Oh, we actually hit it. Notice its flags have turned, or his sails have turned into like holes and stuff. So we hit it. We didn't do enough damage to knock it out of commission or disrupt it or sink it or anything like that. But it's damaged, so that's good. So we get to go again. So you will notice if I mouse over, we're going to hit the damage ship. That's for sure. That time we miss. Now it's shooting. It's shooting from there to there. It's damaged our ship. We are doing very good though because we continue firing at the ship. Nope. He has sunk it. He used the ship, he hit us, and he sunk it. So, bad news for us. Missed again. Our quality just isn't good enough. And we get to go one more time. Oh, hey, we sunk an enemy ship. That is pretty gosh darn good. Oh no, he sunk 2 of our ships. So after 1 round of combat, he sunk 2 of our ships. We have sunk 1 of his. He was able to bring in reinforcements. We will also bring in reinforcements. Notice the retreat button is still grayed out. We cannot retreat. So, let's go again. So he got to go twice in a row, 3 times in a row. Finally, we get to go. So again, it's very... Oh, and he damaged this ship here. So, Miss. We get to go again. All right. Oh, we damaged it. Good. Now it's shooting. All right. So the D means it's, I believe, disrupted. So it's the crew is, starting to lose morale. It sees the battle's going badly for its unit, and it's not fighting at very good quality anymore. Let's take this guy and shoot there. Alright, and they've captured our ship. And we still get to go. Come on, sink it. Alright, we sunk it. So the enemy captured one of our ships. We are outmanned and outgunned again, but notice we can retreat, so we are going to try to retreat. The most important thing is when you go to retreat any of your damaged ships, you will just leave them behind. Basically everybody sails away, and if they can't sail away at full speed, then they get captured. So we got a captured ship, and we lost a Spanish ship and a French ship, and we sunk 2 British ships, which is about the best I've ever done in naval combat, folks. That is about, if you can get almost a 1-to-1, they did get a capture, which means they can bring this ship back as their own here in a couple turns. But still, that's not bad considering we were outmanned and outgunned. And now what will happen is our ships will sail into port, and you can see prizes will be converted here in 2 turns, so we'll get an extra ship. Well, lucky you. And now he's moving up there. And it looks like Russia's moving some units across. We are at war with Russia, but Russia has a long ways to go to get over to us. So the Allied player played a card to give himself 2 political points. He's combining his fleet or his armies together. He's got a stack of 12 there. All right, and we're on to the July-August 1805 turn. So because the British have such a powerful navy, they basically rule the seas. So they can do movement of troops along the ocean very easily. So we can never anticipate where they're going to be bringing units or, whatever they can do until we can get a better navy. Or we can forget about the navy altogether and just use our land forces. Problem with that again is he can just drop his units off anywhere he wants. He can bring, he can bring this big stack of units from up here. He can bring them all the way down around and land them over here where there's a port. They have to land them where there's a port though. So, I mean, there's only a few spots there. So he didn't actually come in and attack here, which is interesting. And he moves units there. Well, so I believe if we move this guy there, that should be free, and it is. Now can I move this guy together? Yes. Okay, so I got a leader. At least it's a leader. And the leaders are important for land battles, and we'll show you why when we get to it. You are going up here. You, my friend. We'll wait on that. We don't need a general yet. I was hoping to get like another force march, and we could force march Napoleon 2 spaces. We could be in Vienna and start attacking him. We have 3 activations left, so bring that guy down here. Again, I'm going to try to link this guy up with this. He's got a few decent units. This guy's got a few decent units as well. We're going to bring this guy. Well, definitely we're going to move Napoleon up here because we don't want this guy moving in and trying to take over these guys. And this guy here is going to, it's our last activation. That's fine. We'll move that guy there. Because I want this guy to gather his forces here. I want this general to, he's grayed out. We cannot move him. Maybe we can only move one general or one leader for free by himself. I'm not sure. Activations 0. Do we have any event cards we can play? It doesn't look like it. And this looks like a good time to call episode 1 to a close. We're going to get into a land battle here, and we're going to talk about that extensively when that comes up. So that would make this video really, really long, and I don't want to do that. So again, victory and glory, Napoleon. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this. Again, I'm probably going to be bringing you 3 or 4 episodes. Give you guys a taste of what this is like. If you guys like this and you're interested, leave your comments below. Let me know that you're interested. You'd like to see some more. Give it a thumbs up. And that way I know that there's people out there watching it, enjoying it, and like to see some more. And if people aren't enjoying it and watching it, I won't record it. I'll just play it myself, and then you guys won't get to see it. So that's how it works. We could actually, event card, we could actually do one more thing. Choose a minor nation which currently has French troops in it to join the Empire. If another minor agent, blah, 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 it also gives Britain 2 points. Before we do this, let's look at our points here. So Great Britain has 4 points. We would give them 2 more. That would give them 6 points. That's a lot of points. But we would take over this area right here because we have French units in there. Let's do it. And we'll choose on this one right there. Select that region. And now that is France. That is owned by France. We own it. Now we can do the same thing like that with Kingdom of Bavaria. So if we occupy Bavaria and Tyrol, and Austria is at peace with us, we can capture this area and this area. Now we already own this area, but they have to be at peace with us anyway. So, all right, well that was a nice little thing to end the episode with. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. We are out of activation, so not much. And before we start the next turn, we'll go ahead and end this episode. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.